Hello there. This is the Jayman Show, and my guest today is Sergio Diaz, a wonderful actor, and I'm host Jaiye Bynoe. That's Sergio. Good to see you on the show today. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing blessed. I'm so good to have you on my show. I mean, I've seen you. I can't know you've been working in the Illuminated videos. And I was like, wow, these people are amazing actors, and especially you. I mean, the way you get into character like that. So I just, and so my question to you is, what made you get started? What made you want to become an actor?
Oh man, I hope you got some time for this story because
I,
it's
I
kind of
did.
it's
Yeah, let's do it.
yeah. Um, well, it might actually not be as complicated, but so ever since I was very little, I loved superheroes,
Mhm.
and Spider-Man and Batman were my favorite superheroes, right? And so I remember when I was little, the very first live action Spider-Man came out, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Mhm.
And I remember walking to the movie theater. I must have been like 6 or 7 years old when this movie came out, and the feelings that I got after seeing that movie, like seeing Spider-Man
Yeah,
on the big screen.
yeah,
I like he was no longer just a cartoon. He was no longer just someone in a comic book that I read. He was like Spider-Man was real as far as I was concerned. And I walked out of that movie with the hairs on the back of my neck standing up, right? I had goosebumps all over. And in that moment, I felt, right? I can be Spider-Man. I
yeah,
can do that. And as I got older, I realized the actor Tobey Maguire, right? He was getting paid to do what I was doing in my room, right? Like pretend to be Spider-Man, right?
yeah.
And so that got the gears turning at an early age that oh maybe acting is something I want to be or want to do I should say. But I took a really long time to get there.
Mhm.
Um, I didn't start actually acting until I got into college and towards the end of my college career.
Oh,
Um, so yeah, but I would say watching Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was the first time I thought, wow, like being an actor, that would be such a blessing. That would be so cool.
yes, yes, definitely. It's just seeing your work on people. It's like, wow, you definitely was starting to be an actor. Yeah. So how'd you get cast? So how'd you get cast on the show, Illuminum?
Okay, so that's a really cool story, right? So it was a height of the pandemic,
Oh,
and I was not doing what I wanted to do, right? I wasn't acting because I was like, I can't act like because there's this thing going around.
yeah.
But one day, an actress that I had worked with on a short film,
Mhm.
she sent me a text. She said, "Hey, I'm working with these people. They're called Illumibly. You should check out their YouTube channel. Um, they're good people, and so and we need somebody." It was like a last minute thing, right?
Uh-huh.
One of the actors wasn't able to go, and so she called me up and she said, "Hey, we have this part for you if you want to take part in it." And at that point, I hadn't acted in I want to say like maybe like 9 months just because of like everything that was going on at the time. And I was laying in bed when I got the text. I was like, ah, like this sucks. I need to do something. And then boom, she texted me. And of course I said yes. I'm like, yes, when, where? Um, and she said she sent me the address, she sent me the script, and then I ended up I ended up working with them that day. I think it was 1 or 2 days later after she sent me that text. And they said they loved what I did, and they've been inviting me back ever since. And since then, it's been really, really nice of them to invite me back to make videos like I, almost every week. Like I'm working with them. So
Yeah, because that's a cool show. I mean, definitely. I mean, yeah. So, so what are you working on besides that? What are you working on right now besides Lumion? Anything coming out? I know that you're a musician, right? That you're in a band. You got some songs coming out.
I'm actually so me and my friend Leo, we had this cover band, right? So no originals.
Okay.
But we are in love with the Arctic Monkeys and the Strokes, so we cover a lot of them. Actually, I go up to Chico and I do Chico, California, and I do open mics there at like coffee shops and the bars, or at least we did. We haven't done it in a while, but we used to do it fairly consistently. The thing with music, I love music. Music's been a part of my life ever since I was little. I
Mhm.
can I can strum the guitar and I
Mhm.
and I sing pretty okay too.
Oh,
So I'm pretty happy about that. As far as things that I'm working on with acting,
Mhm.
right now I just finished filming a short film called Savor It,
Okay.
and hands down, it was one of the funnest experiences on set.
Wow.
Super fun, like everybody top of their game, super professionals, um, but they also knew how to have fun at the same time. So there was a lot of laughs, and my cast were it was a small cast, right? It was only three of us, so we got really close, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah, so that one's going to be coming out soon. I
Okay.
don't know when, but soon.
It sounds great. Coming to see, and back to music. I mean, yeah, because I'm also a musician myself. I've heard some songs. I'll send them to you tonight at the interview, so you hear me. But yeah, but I love music. It's been a part of my life. Since I was 7. I mean, I've got to be some styles like Macy Gray, Ashanti. Yeah, and yeah, so
Right
yeah,
on.
yeah, so yeah, and yeah, and but yeah, but music is definitely been a part of my life, just like yours. It's on my soul. I can't. It's like just like you said. Yeah.
Right. Music is like a universal language, right? Because if you don't, nobody speaks the same language all the time, right? But everyone can vibe to music. I love music for that reason. It just connects people, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So what kind of songs do you like to write about? And what tell me a little bit about your music, what style of music in genre, yeah, that you do?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So, it's funny because I have written a couple songs. I don't I like writing.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to composing, I let my friends, do that because I they're more adept to it. But when it comes to writing, I just write about what I know. I'm only 27 years old, so I mean, I still have a lot of growing up, and I still have a lot of learning to do. But I write about what I know. I read about past relationships. I read about really difficult times that I've had in the past, um, and I think it's a very healthy way to work through things and assess things, and sometimes I just write things just straight out of my imagination, that
Yeah.
make no sense, but they're just fun to put in a song. And I love playing alternative rock.
Mhm.
I love um like old school rock and roll, like the oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
um yeah, that's my main thing. So like I said, Arctic Monkeys
Yeah.
slash Strokes, the Strokes-esque. That's my bread and butter for sure.
Absolutely. I definitely understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what advice can you give people that want to be an actor like you or a singer? What advice can you give them?
Um, I'm sorry, one more time.
I was asking, I
Could
was
I have that question one more time?
Yeah, I was asking, what advice can you give people that want to be an actor like you or a singer? What advice can you give us? That
Oh, okay. Man, it's funny because like I don't know if I'm the most qualified. Like I'm doing it, but even still, I'm like, I don't know if I'm the most qualified for that because I don't want to give anybody like advice that might end up like not helping them out, right? But if I had to say anything, it's just be consistent, don't give up, know that it's an ebb and flow
Mhm.
being an actor. You don't need to go to school for one. You don't need to go to actor school. Um, a lot of people learn on the job, and that's one of the best ways to learn. I did have training, and so I'm not saying it's useless to go to school. That's not what I'm saying. But you don't have to. So don't let that be a mental block. Number one. Number two, make a profile on the casting websites and just audition for as much as you can, because the more you audition, the more chances that eventually something's going to happen. Someone's going to say yes to you. And once you're on set, once you're on the job, be completely prepared.
Mhm.
Be so prepared that when you're on set, you can just play around.
Mhm.
Like you're not stressing about your lines. You're not stressing about how you look or if that felt right, because you're going to be doing takes over and over and over and over again. So
Mhm.
they're going to choose the best one. So don't worry too much about that. Just be prepared and be open to the moment. Be open to having fun.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, like the more practical steps, like yeah, get yourself some good headshots, get yourself set up online on casting profiles, and just go for it. Just go for it.
Yeah.
No
That-
fear.
yeah, that's the best advice. Just go for it. I'm with you, brother. That's how I feel. Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. So how do you deal with rejection? I mean, as an actor, how do you deal with rejection? Does it hurt sometimes? Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It hurts the most when you know like you're perfect for a role, right? But the other people don't see it, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, you can't blame them because it's their production, so they have the full right to be like, sorry, we don't want you, right? But when you get attached to a script that you read and that you really really like, and you want to be a part of that production, it is difficult sometimes to let sometimes you just want to call them back and be like let me try again. I think I really got it this time, because like that script, that movie, or that project is going to be good.
Mhm.
um but the best way to deal with rejection is to just let it go. I think being an actor, you have to give 100% of yourself while expecting nothing of an outcome, which is a really hard thing for people to wrap their head around, or at least to accept, because every time you have to do your best, and
Mhm.
sometimes your best is not what they're looking for. But that by no means does that mean it wasn't good.
Mhm.
It's a lot of a game. It's a game about perspective.
Yeah.
As long as you keep a good perspective on your shoulders, the rejection, it kind of rolls off you after a point.
Huh. I'm glad to hear that. That sounds good to me, you know. Yeah. So
Yeah.
well, like I said, I mean, I seen all your videos on it's like you're so good in character. How do you prepare for a role and how do you get into character?
So the thing with Illumably, and if your fans are familiar with them, the thing about them is I often get so I work with them a lot, and
Yeah.
I often get the scripts sent to me maybe like 1 or 2 days before. And so that's not a lot of time to prepare as an actor. But the best way I have found to deal with uh, that shortness of time, because the scripts are always fun. They're
Mhm.
always fun, and they're always going to be a good time. Um, it's just read it over and over again, and then take a break, which sounds counterintuitive, because a lot of people would be like, get your notes to the grindstone, right? But know the script enough that when you go to bed and you take a break from it, your brain is marinating on the character that you're supposed to be playing, and then read it one more time the morning of,
Mhm.
and then just let your instincts take over, because acting is all about
Mhm.
reacting to the other person.
Mhm.
So you can't think too much about how am I going to say this line, and like how do I look here, I'm going to raise my eyebrow there. Like you can do some of that, but if you're focused too much on yourself, you're going to miss out on the interaction happening between you and the other person. And that's where characters come from.
Mhm.
Character comes from actions taken between the two people acting. And
Mhm.
so, like, I'm still me. I just give off the illusion of being that character. You know what I mean?
I
But
got
it's all about the other person.
Huh. Well, that's good to hear. So what's like to work with the cast of Illuminati? I mean, because I know you guys work a lot, so do you guys get along on set?
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a day where I'm not belly like laughing from my belly, just chuckling with them.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're all great people. They're all super professional. They're all just wonderful to work with. And what I really love about them is that they are open to ideas.
Mhm.
So the script can be written and set, but if I have an idea like, hey, I kind of want to do this way, is that okay? More often than not, they're okay with it, and they'll say, yeah, let's try it your way. And I really appreciate that as an actor,
Oh,
for them to give me that kind of freedom. It can't happen all the time, because they're on a schedule and the production has to keep going. So sometimes we don't have time to experiment. But when we do, like, great things happen. And you wouldn't have that kind of freedom if you didn't have like a good cast and crew that knew how to work well together.
yeah, it's wonderful. I can definitely see the chemistry between you and the woman. I'm actually going to interview her next week. I feel, and she seems so down to earth. So mhm.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Wait, is her name Avandra or?
Oh, yeah, Avanja, yeah, okay, yeah, Avanja, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, her.
Yeah, okay, cool stuff, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's her. Yeah,
That's super cool. Yeah.
yeah. So look for that. Yeah. So what? So what inspires you? What gives you inspiration to do what you do?
Mm, there's a lot, but I would say my number one inspiration to do what I do is my family.
Mhm.
I come from a family of immigrants,
All
and
right.
so like they came to the United States looking for a better life and everything. And here I am wanting to be an actor, right? And I've heard it before. Should have been a doctor, should have been a lawyer. Um, but I'm very fortunate to have a family that's very supportive. Um, Sometimes, for the most part, very, very, very supportive, extremely supportive. Um, they like to take jabs at me every once in a while, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you haven't had a part in a little bit. What's going on there?" I'm like, "Hey, give me some time. Give me some time. I'll get back on the horse. Don't worry about me." Um, but yeah, um, they inspire me because, my like I said, my parents came here for a better life, and so I want to get my career to the point where I can provide that life. Like I don't get me wrong, I want to retire my parents. I want to buy them a house, do all that, right? But I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
I definitely can tell you will. I bet you will. Yeah. So, yeah.
thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. So what do you like to do in your spare time when you're not, working? What do you like to do for fun and travel wise?
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you for asking that question. I love going out and skateboarding. I'm
Awesome.
a huge street skateboarder. I grew up. My first influence in skateboarding was where Rodney Mullen,
Okay.
um, the grandfather of street skateboarding, or the father of it, and Paul Rodriguez, P Rod, and Chris Cole. Like I grew up watching them a lot,
Awesome.
and so yeah, I just love going out on my skateboard on a nice day. It's been raining lately, but
Okay.
when the sun is out, I'm on my skateboard, and I normally take a book with me because I'm a little bit of a bookworm. So yeah, I'll take a good book and go read at a coffee shop, then get caffeinated, go skate some more. And when I'm not skateboarding, I'm with friends. I really like doing karaoke at karaoke bars with my friends. Um, and as far as travel, I've traveled to Costa Rica. I learned how to surf there.
Wow.
I built a school over there. Super beautiful country, beautiful people. I love to visit my family in Mexico, and I've backpacked the Teton Mountains. Like my form of recreation is pretty strenuous, I would say. Like
Yeah.
relaxation in a different way. Definitely relaxing, but also still physically taxing. If you rest, you rust, man. I don't like sitting down for too long.
I hear you. Me too. I'm the same way, brother. Absolutely.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know it.
Yeah. Wow. Well, so Central in California, right? Have you got to meet any celebrities, any famous stars since you're out there?
Oh, okay. I I got to like kind of party with a rapper named Dumbfounded, and he's fairly big, I would say. So that was really cool because my cousin worked with him, and it was a lot of fun meeting him. Really cool guy. Let's see. I mean, I've been really, really close to Joan Jett, like, cause she plays at like fairs and stuff all the time, and she's it like a rock and roll icon, right? So, I mean, I can't say I've met her, but I shook the hand of the director of Shang-Chi.
Oh wow. Mhm.
That was cool. Yeah, like I'm like I'm never washing this hand again. Yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, I live in Petaluma, California. So it's like near San Francisco. So not too many celebrities. I'm not like down in LA or anything.
Uh-huh.
But I'll get there one day, and then I'll report back as to how many I meet when I'm down there.
Awesome. You definitely will, Yeah. So
Yeah.
what what do you see yourself years from now? Maybe still acting, directing, uh, in the future?
Lately, I've been getting a lot more of an itch to start writing.
Awesome.
I know nothing about writing, but I have a really good friend. His name's Preston, and
Uh-huh.
he loves to write. Like he he loves making movies,
Mhm.
and he knows that writing movies is a big part of making movies. So he sits down and he focuses, and he has the best work ethic. So he's been inspiring me to get into writing because I have a lot of ideas. I want to write about my experiences, but like filter them through another character and like explore my experiences even more, you know? Um, like if we're talking about like big dreams, I would love the opportunity to play a superhero
Oh yeah.
in like a DC or a Marvel movie. Like that would be so much fun. Like I don't care who it is. I kind of care who it is. Um, my dream role would be to play Miguel O'Hara um, in as Spider-Man 2099.
Mhm.
That would be that'd be a dream come true.
Yeah.
But that goes back to being a kid and why I started acting in the first place. I saw Spider-Man, right? And so I'm like, yeah, I want to do that. So I want to play a superhero role so bad. I've been hitting the gym for it too, because I'm like, it'll happen and I gotta be in shape.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think you make a great Spider-Man. And if you make the movie, if you could see the movie, please take me. I'd love to be in a movie with you as well.
All right, yeah, I'll keep you in mind. Thank you.
That's a blessing. Thank you. Yeah. So okay.
Hell yeah.
Thank you. So my next question to you is serious. I know that on Illumina, right? You guys still have topics like racism, and prejudice, and it's sad. How did racism
Yeah.
affect you growing up? And how does it affect you now as an actor?
Hmm. I think racism, my parents always did a good job at shielding me from those kind of experiences when I was younger. Because like when you're young, you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'll always thank them for protecting me. But racism, the way I have experienced it, has been more systemic than anybody ever coming up to me and like being in my face racist to me because I'm Mexican, right? It's been more in laws that prevent my parents from being able to do things. Like before in California, um, a law was passed where if you weren't a U.S. citizen, you couldn't get a driver's license, and that really affected my family because like, well, my dad needs to drive to work, he needs to provide for his family, right? And so that was really tough because it's like every time you get into a car, you to go get groceries, to do any human activity, any normal thing that you need to do, like there's a good chance that okay, like we're gonna get in trouble, and then we're gonna have to pay to get the car back, and then it was a whole thing. And unfortunately, here in my town, there were a lot of checkpoints like at night where the police would stop to check people's licenses, and it was always it was always the point that they made was that, oh, we're making sure that people aren't drunk driving, which I'm sure they were. Like, yeah, that's cool. But what irks me is that as soon as that law changed,
Mhm.
there haven't been any checkpoints anymore.
Mhm.
You see what I mean? It's
Okay.
like, oh, now that immigrants can have licenses, now you don't want to check for drunk drivers.
Mhm.
That's weird because people are still drunk driving,
Yeah.
but now they're not catching immigrants without licenses. Like, you know what I mean?
I
So
know.
it's like, so that was always very frustrating to navigate and stuff.
Yeah.
So I've experienced racism in that form. It's very rare that somebody's ever come up to me and been like, hey, F you for being Mexican or whatever.
I'm glad to hear that, because like I said, it's totally unacceptable, because I actually work, at the gas in Boston, I deal with drunks, because I'm security, so, and you're right, people get drunk.
Mm.
We actually had those some guy last night, because they want to, be racist towards you and, we get drunk, it's great. So, Yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's definitely still a problem. It's even here in California. I think a lot of people think California is just this liberal bubble, but there's definitely some white supremacy brewing around here as well. We actually had like it might have been kids just trying to be funny at the time, but like I remember in high school there were kids drawing swastikas on the walls of the bathroom, and they seemed pretty into it. Like they seemed to back it pretty well. And I remember thinking like that's terrifying.
yeah,
Yeah. So and now they're adults. Hopefully they've changed, but
yeah.
you never know. But that's how these things get passed on through the kids. It's this generational trauma.
I know, and it's sad. So what was high school like for you? What was it hard for you? I mean,
Um, High school life was like pretty uneventful, to be honest. I mean, I would say like I had my difficulties in the school, just because I just didn't like it. I wasn't
I feel
I
you.
wasn't the worst student. I graduated.
Yeah,
Um, but I also was not the best student either. It just something about classroom learning doesn't really click with me. It doesn't keep my attention. I need to be out doing something physical. I have a lot of energy and that needs to be like expended, right?
mhm,
And so focusing on topics that I didn't care about was really, really hard.
yeah,
But, I did get through it and I made a lot of friends that I'm still friends with today,
it's wonderful.
so
Mhm.
yeah, like and I was well liked. I wasn't popular by any means, but I was never bullied or anything like that. I just kind of lived my life. My summers, on the other hand, though, my high school summers were incredible
Um,
because like I said, I got into skateboarding, and so like I had like a big community of skateboarders to go hang out with. So that was a lot of fun. And then I got accepted into a program called Summer Search, right?
mhm.
And I will always be thankful for them. Like if anybody's watching this that works for Summer Search, like y'all are incredible because they accepted me into the program. I had an interview for it, and they recognized my potential in just in being a leader and being more than what I thought I could be.
Um,
And so they actually took me on summer vacation trips. So like they're the reason why I went to Costa Rica and like helped to build a school,
mhm.
because they wanted me to go have that experience so that I can put that on a resume for or on an application for college. They're
That's
the reason why I went to go study ecology in Wyoming and backpack the Teton Mountains. And those experiences like grow you as a person because they're like those experiences were fun, but they also came with their challenges, and that's what they wanted. And I grew so much from those experiences, and so I'll always be thankful. Yeah. So yeah. So summer vacations
uh-huh.
back in high school where it was at for me. That was a lot of fun. The actual high school experience,
Mhm.
pretty typical. You
I,
know.
yeah, I was like that funny in high school too. So so what made you want to? So what made you want to go to college? And what was college like for you?
What made me want to go to college was summer search, and even it's funny because like I wouldn't say I ever was like really like yeah like college that's so what I want to do. um but I took it as I only get this one life, right? Like, and there is no redoing it, and I therefore I want to have a college experience.
Yeah,
And so that was kind of it. And I thought maybe like even though I don't know what I want to do while being in college, I might find that thing, and I'm going to be exposed to a lot of new ideas, a lot of new people. So I knew nothing but good things was going to come out of going to college.
uh-huh.
And so I ended up going to Chico State for one main reason, really, is because they were the one. Chico State was the school that helped me out the most with financial aid, so it was the most realistic choice for me to go. And I got into places like Goucher College, right? But like we're talking about like 60 grand
Mhm.
like a year, or maybe, or was it a semester? Like some ridiculous amount of money that I was like, no, thank you. you know, thank you for accepting me, but no, thank you. Um, so yeah, so I went to college mainly because I knew I would gain experiences that were gonna help me in the future, even if I took, that knowledge
Mhm.
and didn't really apply it to what I studied.
Mhm.
I would have those experiences to help me navigate
Mhm.
the world for the rest of my life, and I thought that was something that was important.
Yes, I definitely agree. College is definitely important because I went to college too in Boston. Got my associate's degree in liberal arts, so I can have a job in entertainment field because but from what I know, most people don't hire unless you have some kind of degree, right? So I want to have something, make sure I have something to fall back on. So yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. I mean, I might have gone to college, but for me, there is no plan B. This is plan A, and we're going to see it all the way through to the end.
I definitely agree, my brother. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. So, so back to your band. I mean, do they think you might record some more songs and maybe go on a tour at some point? Since your music is your love, think you might go on a tour?
I doubt it. We're not even really a band anymore, um, but I mean, maybe like something fun might happen every once in a while.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I think I would like to like sit down with some people in my local area and like really like start taking it seriously, because I think it would be interesting to get to that point where you're starting to travel and play music in venues and stuff.
Mhm.
But that's going to be a lot farther down the line in the future, I'd say, because right now I'm mainly focused on acting.
Oh yeah, I hear it because you are definitely a good actor. So and I definitely think if they know the doors can open for you and everyone else is trying to work in tell to get seen and heard. So that's what it's about.
Oh yeah, Evandra's incredible as well. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I
Mhm.
will take all the positivity, because if the more people that are voting for me to do good, I think the universe responds to that. The more people that are on my side, the more likely it is that I succeed, because nobody ever really succeeds on their own. Like people need each other in more ways than one. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so what do you think people can do to make the world better, in your opinion? What do you think people can do to maybe change the world, for the next generation?
Oh, oh man, you're asking the big questions, the hard ones too. The hard ones. This is start making more art,
What?
find a creative outlet, because I think a lot of people need to express themselves in a way that is more productive. Because like even someone that's extremely hateful and has nothing but dark thoughts, right? If they were just able to express themselves in a painting,
Yeah.
in poetry, something like that, then we can have a conversation about the painting, and it might, some more human vulnerability might slip out,
Mhm.
and so it might be an easier way of entry into dealing with people's hate, because that hate comes from somewhere, right? So
Yes.
I think people just need to find that creative outlet that allows them to express all that anger and hate in a more productive way, because we're all human.
Yes.
We all have the same emotions. I mean, I've had moments where I've I've wished ill on somebody else because maybe they, mess with my family or something like that. But like in the end, we're also all we have. Like the people on the other side, and politically or not politically, right? They're not going away. We have to live with each other. We have to, no matter what. Like we're always going to get on each other's nerves. So I think expressing yourself through art might help ease that tension, and might expand the conversation and allow us to communicate in ways that might be more productive.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, because like you said, I mean, because to me, art is very important. It helps me feel better. Because it's like a passion I've had since I was a kid. I mean, I can tell you love art too, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and another thing is like being more aware of when you're in the group think,
Mm-hmm.
because individually people can get along fairly easily for the most part, individually,
Mm-hmm.
but once we start forming into groups,
Right.
something changes, man, where like all of a sudden it's easier to say things that you wouldn't have said otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think people being more conscious of the way they're acting in a group when they have that permission to be a little bit more obnoxious, them having the self-control and restraint to be to think critically and
Yeah.
say, maybe I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm not going to follow the group in like this time around. So I think that's another big thing.
I definitely agree.
um yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So what makes you what makes you happy? You know,
My family.
that's good. You know.
Yeah. I they're my world. All my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. Yeah. I do everything for myself, obviously, but like all the rewards of wherever my career takes me, it's gonna go to them as well. To them as much as it will to me.
Oh, yeah, that I definitely agree. Yeah. So what kind of celebrities do you want to work with? In your career? Which
Do I need to work on?
no, I was saying, what kind of celebrity stars do you want to work with on a movie?
Oh, okay. Whew. I mean, I would love to work with Quentin Tarantino because his that Quentin Tarantino-esque style of movie is just always so engaging and so much fun.
Mhm.
Um, I really want to work on a noir or a horror movie. I think horror movies would be so much fun to make. I just saw the new Scream,
Oh,
and that movie was so entertaining, like throughout the entire duration, because it's like, oh, it really had you going as to like who the killer's going to be and everything. So
mhm.
I think being involved in something similar to that would be so much fun to make. Um, and yeah, I definitely want to. No matter what, though, I want to tell stories that are compelling. Because
Yes.
yes, I want to do the Oscar-worthy, deep, depressing, difficult role, right? Like I of course I want to do that, especially if it's a story that needs to be told.
Mhm.
But at the same time, like I also want to have a little bit of fun and like do some goofier things, and um or do things that aren't as serious, but that I'm just passionate about.
Yeah.
So I think I have to strike a balance between the two for sure.
Yeah. I definitely agree. So how did so how did being in COVID so how did COVID affect you? The pandemic, was that hard for you?
Yeah, that was pretty tough, especially because, like I said, like my form of relaxing and recreation is to go skate or like go hike and like be active and, go out with my friends and stuff. So it was definitely hard, being cooped up. For most of the pandemic, though, I was working. I was working a night shift at a food distribution company, and so like I was still active and about, but I wasn't acting and I wasn't doing what I wanted to do. So
Mhm.
I definitely got uh not depressed because I'm fortunate enough that I don't suffer from that.
Oh, that's good.
But I was pretty blue about not being able to do like my thing, which was acting. And I also did get it. Eventually I actually I got it. And so I felt like absolute garbage for like it was funny because I have a strong immune system.
Mhm.
So I was only sick, like I only felt sick for maybe 5, 7 hours.
Okay.
And then I took a nap and then I woke up and the fever was practically like gone and stuff. So it didn't last too long. But for those couple of hours, yeah, it was really, really rough. It was
Yeah.
I I could barely keep my eyes open when eating because I was just so drained of energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. Did you actually contact COVID? Oh,
I'm sorry, did I contract?
Did you actually get the answer get COVID or COVID-19? Did you get COVID?
Yeah, so
Oh,
I did, yeah. So yeah, I contracted it unfortunately, like, or I got sick with COVID-19. But again, I have a I must have an insanely strong immune system, I like to believe, because I can still taste.
okay. Oh,
I didn't, and I can still smell. So I was like, I'm gonna be fine.
yeah.
Um, uh, the the loss of energy is what was the hardest part for me, because I just, like I said, I could barely eat, not
Mhm.
because the food tasted bad, but because I was just so tired I could barely keep my eyes open, right? I just wanted to sleep. Um, and the fever was really intense too, but probably the worst fever I've ever had. But like I said, I just slept it off, and in a couple of hours, I was feeling a lot better.
That's wonderful. I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So what makes you so what makes you angry and what makes you depressed sometimes?
Mm, what does make me angry? Mm, people that don't use their turn signals on the freeway.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That irks me so much.
mhm.
Because I mean, is it a stereotype for Californians to be bad drivers?
I'm not
Is
sure.
that
Maybe I don't.
okay? I think I might have heard that somewhere, and I'm like, I kind of get that, because like, at least here in the Bay Area, it's so bad. Like, and I'm sure it is everywhere, but people, like, I'm just doing my thing on the freeway, and someone decides to merge in there, and like I barely even see them coming because they didn't use their blinker, and then I have to brake very suddenly, which could cause an accident behind me, right? So it's, yeah, people that aren't good drivers really irk me. I would say that really grinds my gears. I get a little bit of road rage, but I always calm down. I never let it like escalate or anything like that. Things that depress me. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. Thankfully, I've been blessed with a great family, and uh, a fairly um, good life that hasn't really had like anything totally like cataclysmically horrible happen.
Good.
So anytime there's a death in the family, or anytime that I can't help somebody that I really care for,
Mhm.
when, like, if I have a friend that gets cheated on,
Mhm.
there's nothing I can do to fix that, right? They have to deal with that on their own, and I can be there for them, be the shoulder to cry on, and listen to them and support them through the stages of like dealing with that. But like, the fact that I just can't take that pain away from them, that's what makes me sad, because I just don't want the people that I care about to feel that way. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, when I can't immediately fix the problem for other people, that's what makes me sad. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel the same way, especially depressed sometimes, because after my mother passed away, I was depressed for a long time, so I'm so
Yeah.
sometimes, so yeah,
My condolences. Yeah.
she actually passed of a heart attack 7 years ago, and it's been tough, but do it, I was able to go back to college, get my degree, and that's how this podcast, try and go forward, so trying,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, but definitely.
Kudos to you for keeping on, because a lot of people that might have torn apart their whole world, because like that's hard to move on from. So I'm happy for you. Good for you that you were able to move on.
Think I definitely appreciate it, yeah. So what was your experience like? So what was like for you to deal with police? Police. I know that you said something about immigrant. How the police treat you, as a child compared to now? I mean, was some police ever mean to or rude to you? But some police were. You know,
Yeah, I've never had like a bad experience personally with police officers, but that does not mean that I'm not aware of the dire situations in other places, right? Like here in Petaluma, like, it's it is what it like. I have friends that are police officers, and they tell me that one of the biggest problems here is just like homeless people overdosing, and like they find a dead body, like things like that. So like I said, I've never personally had like a horrible experience with a police officer, but I know damn well that there are people that should not be police officers being, uh, and that's a whole nother problem in itself that's so freaking complicated. I had a friend whose mother is a police psychologist,
Yeah.
and she's telling me these things where she will evaluate somebody to see if they're fit for the job, and when they're not, she'll make that note, right? Like she can't make the final say, right? She doesn't have the final say whether this person gets hired or not, but she lets the people doing the hiring know, like, this person doesn't meet the qualifications psychologically to be a police officer.
Mm.
But oftentimes, like, they still get the job. Maybe an uncle works at the department or something like that, right? Or who knows? There's a million reasons why. Like, they could be short staffed and they just need people. Um, so it's an extremely complicated issue, and but it's definitely one that is definitely a huge problem. But as for myself, I've been fortunate enough to like not have any bad run-ins with police, and I hope that it stays that way, because I I've seen the footage of
Mhm.
police brutality and what can happen
Yes,
if
man.
just one wrong move and your life can end right there.
Yes, and it's really sad, especially for me, because that's the same happened to George Floyd, that's like that could be me, because sometimes it
Yeah,
makes you scared, especially my niece and nephew, I got niece and I don't want them to go through that, so yeah, I mean, it's definitely a scary world, yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, that's it's funny because like obviously I'm not black, so like that's an experience, is unfortunately that's all your own. But my dad did once say, like, I think it might have been when um it was during when like the George Floyd um uh like movements was happening and stuff. He did tell me, like, hey, be a little bit more careful around the police, because he has had experiences with police being more abruptly racist with him, because like he has an accent. You
Yeah.
can tell he, you
Mhm.
know, um, but you know, I haven't had any complaints, but yeah, we definitely we gotta fix that for sure.
Yeah. So how did you think so what did we could do to fix it, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I am definitely not qualified for that. I mean, there's probably a shortage of police psychologists, right? There's probably a shortage of people that want to be police officers. So
Yeah.
they might be scraping at the bottom of the barrel.
Mm.
I have no idea. I have no idea how to fix that problem. I think it all comes back down to humanity. I think it all comes back down to being careful about who we hire, um, and addressing prejudice that is instilled in us from an early age. Like I said, more police psychologists. Make sure that, like, that the people that they're hiring aren't,
Mm.
like, what's the word I'm looking for here? Power hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
hear
I think like really good people go into policing wanting to make a difference, but then also the atmosphere of some of their departments might not let them be the best cop they can be.
yeah.
Like, stick together, hush hush.
Mhm.
Don't If you see something, don't worry about it.
Mhm.
Especially if you're a rookie.
Mhm.
But that's me looking in,
Uh,
not being part of that world. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really complicated issue for me.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, because from what I heard, sometimes police officers still they stick together, right? You know,
Yeah,
yeah, and sometimes
it's that groupthink I was talking to you about. It's a groupthink, and that's on the police officers when they see another fellow police officer doing something that's not okay,
yeah,
even if it is their like someone above them, to speak up and be like, "Yo, that's not cool."
yeah,
They might get fired, but I mean, people need to be held accountable for what they do.
they sure do. Yeah. I definitely agree because maybe that's why I went to college so that if I could stop, a police officer see that I'm a college graduate. Because I hear that if they see you have a college degree, some cops will back off, because they're educated. But sometimes, and then because one time I experienced that I wasn't, so I feel that,
Yeah.
so, that's just me. But I feel that for more people went to college, there might be less problems short, right? But I don't know.
No, yeah, absolutely, man.
you know. I mean, but you're right. Though, it definitely is a scary situation that we live in. I mean, yeah. But you seem to be
Yeah,
handling
I can't even imagine as a black man. I mean, because racial profiling is definitely a thing.
this.
If you just happen to be driving, somewhere where they think that you shouldn't be, like, yeah, it's a scary situation. Absolutely.
Especially as a black man like me, it is, especially in Boston, and I mean, and also in Florida and California, because I hear it's even worse in Florida, so yeah, so
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, but definitely, it's like I said, like it's a whole new thing, and I've been seeing it a lot more in movies of like black people sharing their experiences in movies, and I forgot what movie it was. It might have. I think it was like Cheaper by the Dozen, like the remake,
yeah,
right? Um, where one of the stepfathers, he was talking about like um the difficulty of having to have that conversation with his kid about like, you're gonna, like, right now you're cute, but you're gonna grow up into a man who is
yeah,
black in America, and he's gonna have to sit him down and have that talk of all the prejudice and how to navigate police experiences so that he doesn't get shot,
yeah,
because it's so ingrained in this country to like you're a threat because of the way you look, you know? Yeah.
definitely,
And that part hit me hard because I was like, fuck, like
yeah,
my dad only one time ever said like, be careful, you know? But like for you, that's like a lifelong thing.
yes, I know because I can see my nephew. I see myself tell my nephew to be. I can see my nephew as myself as a kid. You know,
Mhm.
as a so I tell myself, tell him, to be careful what you do because you're going to be a black man and you need to make sure you have a college education, finish high school so you can get a good job. So this so people will take you seriously, especially in cop shop because if you don't have the degree, you might go down a road that you don't want to go down, So and you want to make sure
Yeah.
that you have the best in life, So
And I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I'm sure he appreciates it now, but in the future, they're going to be like, oh, thank goodness they helped me navigate all that, because I mean, I can't imagine what that's like. Like to me, that's insane. That's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, it is definitely insane. I mean, I just sometimes wish, this world would get better, but and also it's going to take time, or it might never get better, and we don't know when COVID, and we have no idea when COVID's going to end, right? It's like a little
Yeah.
thing, So yeah,
We gotta be the change we want to see in the world. I firmly believe in that. We
that's
gotta, we gotta be just a little bit less. Um, I'm sorry. Can I swear on your podcast, or are we trying to keep it PG?
oh, you can swear, it's fine. You can swear.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say because maybe everybody in their own way is an asshole. Like nobody's perfect, right? But if we can all just try to be a little bit less of an asshole
Uh-huh.
every day, just a little bit less, not a lot.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're gonna call somebody out, if you're gonna argue with someone, just be a little bit less of an asshole.
Yeah.
And if everybody did that, like the world would be a significantly better place. Like it just takes this is just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. You know. So
I definitely agree.
yeah.
You definitely said it better than I could. I definitely agree. I feel
Thanks.
yeah. I love how you said that. Sure. we just start loving each other more and care for each other, because especially teach the kids nowadays, kids are the goal to be doing they're doing the same things, So yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So also would you have considered maybe running for president of the U.S. someday maybe?
I'm sorry, what was that one more time?
Do you think you might consider running for president for president of the United States?
President of the United States. I think this country has had enough of actors trying to be the president.
Um,
I think if I ever were to run for president, it I would have to do some serious study. I would have to dedicate a couple of years of brushing up on whatever it is I need to brush up on, right? Because I mean, there's the issue of student loans, the debt that the United States is in, the homelessness issue, um, tackling big pharma, because like oh god, so many Americans are dying from
yeah,
the pharmaceutical industry, uh, police brutality, institutionalized racism. There is so much to tackle. Um, the housing crisis, that's a lot to take on. You know what I mean? So if I were to ever run for president, I would need to assemble a team of people that really know what they're doing.
okay,
Because don't get me wrong, like as an actor, I have no doubt in myself that yeah, like I can talk the talk. I can rally people. I can give a good speech, right?
uh-huh,
But presidents should be more than just puppets.
yeah,
Presidents need to have serious stakes in what it is that they're dealing with. And also, if I were president in this hypothetical world, I would want everything to be like as transparent as possible.
mhm,
You know,
yeah, yeah,
like we vote for our representatives, and then like we don't really know what they're up to, and then all these laws get passed, and we're like what the hell? Like nobody wants this. Why is this happening? Like finding ways to get younger people involved into politics, like I think would benefit everybody. Like right now, I'm seeing some politicians they're using TikTok to reach uh to reach their constituents, and I'm like, that's so smart
mhm,
because they'll just make a quick TikTok video of like, hey, this is what's happening, because people are going to be scrolling through their feed anyway,
yeah,
so might as well have them have a little quick update as to what's happening and be transparent about it, so
yeah,
that way we can make better decisions. But
definitely.
yeah, I don't think me being the president is going to happen anytime soon, but I guess anything's possible.
Actually, anything's possible. I believe it is possible. So you never know, right? Yeah,
Yeah, you never know.
yeah. So
I still believe in the American dream that anybody can be president. It's going to be hard though, because I mean, everyone else that's been president was basically born into a rich family.
yeah. Even Obama, right? Obama, was he born to a rich family as president?
I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, because I know he made it because he was a great president. So I kind of miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, we do like Obama.
yeah, yeah. Did you ever meet Obama or Michelle? Did you meet them?
No,
Never?
have
Oh,
you?
yeah, I shook his hand in Boston. He was very nice young man, very nice president.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I also met Michelle Obama. She was very nice. I wish
Yeah.
I wish they could be president forever. Because they were my goodness. Once they got, I was like, oh my god, 8 years. And then when they left, it was like,
Right.
oh my god, we're going back to the same things before. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was definitely honored to meet Obama, and I mean President Barack Obama was honored to meet him. President Michelle Obama was just to be in the president, shoot their hand, talk for a quick sec. Just experience I know ever forget my lifetime. So yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, you meeting some really important people.
yeah, yeah, and yes. So, do you also have TikTok too? Have a TikTok?
I do have a TikTok, but I don't use it to post. I just use it for entertainment. I don't post anything on it.
I see. Okay, I gotcha. So what do
Yeah.
you see? So what are your plans what are your plans for the rest of the year? Spring, summertime. What are your plans? Rest of the year?
Um, let's see. I'm in the middle of working out and getting ready for summer, so I've been pretty dedicated.
Yeah.
So I plan to continue my fitness journey. I started at 183 pounds, 183 pounds. Today I'm down to 171.2 pounds. So, I'm putting in that work. Um, and continue with that, continue with acting,
Mhm.
keep keep auditioning, keep filming with Illumably,
Yeah.
take advantage of any other opportunities that come up. Um, the thing about being an actor is that you never know where you're going to be tomorrow, because you might get called up for something that's a really good opportunity, but it might be super last minute. So, but you're still going to do it, right? Um, other than that, other than continuing my acting journey and my fitness journey, just keep having fun with my friends, keep hanging out with my family, uh, make sure to laugh a lot, laugh as often as possible, all
Yeah.
that good stuff. I like the simple stuff, a cup of coffee, at my favorite cafe. Yeah, it's the small things for sure.
That's something I definitely agree with because I love summertime, you know. 'Cause right here in Boston, it's so cold right
It's
now.
my favorite time.
Yeah, me too, you know. I love summertime, you know. I'm trying kind of trying to, try to fall to California, because Boston's okay, but it's just so cold, so I'm trying to get the, so know what I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
does it get cold in California? Snow down there?
I mean, yeah, there was snow up on the hills, even here in the Bay Area, just a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, oh man, yeah, climate change is really doing a number on us, isn't it? Like Jesus, but yeah, it gets pretty cold here. Obviously, not as cold as over there, um, and it doesn't snow here in the Bay Area, but like we get some ice.
Okay.
We're very spoiled here
Ah,
in California. Like it's pretty nice for
mhm.
the most part. And I think that's why I can't handle the colds. It's
Yeah,
because I've just been spoiled my whole life.
I hear
As
you.
soon as it gets, in in the like if it's like 36 degrees out, which is like that's cold for
Yeah,
me. That's real cold.
yeah,
But like it's not snowing cold. So
yeah. Well, that's good, because because like I said, I'm with you. I want the cold air to trust me, so you know, you
yeah,
know.
come hang out in California. We'll get you all warmed up for sure. We got the sun up all the time.
I'm definitely, like I said, but I'm trying to, get my, I'm trying to get some money since I can go to California. I am, just
Mhm.
I'm working 2 jobs, so I'm trying to, put money aside to make a move to California. I'm definitely working it, so and because I know it's much more opportunity down there than here in Boston, so so I'm trying to make the move. Believe me, Mhm.
All right, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm trying to move down to LA, so maybe we'll see each other at some point.
definitely will, Wow, wow. So okay, so I just have one more question for them on wrap up,
Okay.
So, 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 so if you were an actor, right, or a singer, or a musician, what do you think you might want to be if you
If I wasn't an actor or an artist or anything like that, right? It's a really good question. My mom always said I should have been a lawyer because I'm really good at arguing with her. Uh, but I think I would want to do something that would help the public, like being a firefighter, you know? Um, just because I like the idea of being able to like physically help people out of like a bad situation, something like that. When I was a kid, I thought about being a police officer, but I don't know if that calls to me right now. Honestly, if I wasn't doing acting at all, I would probably start like a coffee business with my cousin Jude or something like that. Yeah, yeah. I started a business um with like my cousin for sure because she's got a great mind for business, and so it'd be nice to team up with her and do something that we're both passionate about, whether it's coffee or a restaurant or I don't know anything really.
I
That's
see.
probably what I'd do.
That's good. And you also be a firefighter, you know, and you wouldn't be scared of firefighters or if you're gonna kill you, you'll be scared. You'll kill them, you know.
Man, ever since I was a kid, I've had like no sense of danger. It's really bad. I mean, I can tell when I'm in danger, but like I think that's also why I started skateboarding is because I liked the danger element of it. I like the fact that I could pause if I don't do this, if I don't commit to this, I'm gonna get hurt. So I better commit to this trick. And I think it instilled uh a kind of discipline in me. And so I think that translates over to being a firefighter. Like, yes, you are in imminent danger. Like you obviously don't want to be burnt alive or anything like that. But at the same time, it's a fact that like knowing that you're helping people, saving people's lives. Um, and it's not like they get paid a lot, you know, like they're doing this because they genuinely care. To me, that's a beautiful thing. And I think that it's like something that somebody can be proud to be a part of.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
I definitely admire, especially for that, you know, because a lot of people want to be a firefighter, so I definitely admire that, you know, that you put your life in front of other people, you know, that's definitely admirable, you know.
Thanks. I'll let you know how I feel about it if I ever actually do it. Because right now I'm just talking about it, you know. Because
Yeah.
man, it must be tough.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe you could maybe also maybe you could be a firefighter in the next episode of Illumini, you know. I love to see that, you know.
Somebody else mentioned that just a couple weeks ago, so that might actually happen.
Yeah,
So yeah, so keep your eyes out. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
yeah, definitely, you know. You know, maybe you could also do an episode of you being a president, you know, like I talked about, Illumini, you know, that definitely, you know.
All right, yeah, I'll make sure to keep them in mind about that.
I
I
just
look good in a suit. I look quite presidential.
Yeah, I definitely love to see that, you know, because I've actually saw a suit. I saw your suit in the episode. You look great in the suit, you know. Yeah, you know.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I think it's
I
fun.
appreciate it. That's their suits. I don't own any suits.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely.
they got us covered with the wardrobe. Sometimes it's nice. We're
Oh,
spoiled.
okay, okay. I also want to ask you, do you ever get mobbed by people people want to sign your autograph, you know, take pictures? I mean,
No, I mean, I definitely now that I've been in a lot more of their videos, and I've I've definitely gotten people like on Instagram that reach out to me to say how either one how much they love the videos or just to say mean things. It's one or the other, you know. But the vast majority of people that I come across on the internet, they say, "Hey, I really like your work on Illumably," and of course I say thank you. Um, at the apartment complex that I live in right now, um, some of the little kids around my neighbors, they've found those videos because it comes up on their feed as well. And so now they're like, "Oh, you're an actor!" Like, so I have like my little fans as well. So that's really nice. But I'm definitely not at the point where I'm being mobbed by people to have like autographs signed or anything.
uh,
Um, I'm not exactly sure that I even want that too, because I mean, I just want it'd be nice to be famous, but still just live my life like a normal person, you know?
I understand.
Um, but if that were to happen, like I'd still be happy. Like yeah, here, have my signature. That's awesome. Like thanks for admiring my work and supporting me because that's a beautiful thing. A lot of responsibility too, because now you got a lot of people looking up to you, and so you better be setting a good example.
I definitely agree, you know, especially on my show. I try to set a good example for people who watch my show because that's what about now, especially now, you know. And like I said,
Yeah.
for people that sending mean things, you could just do you just block them. I mean, don't spawn, right? Because you know, because like I said, if someone says something, to me, I just sort of block them, so you know, don't spawn because because it's
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, if it's a hostile message, I'll for sure block people because like I don't want to deal with negativity at all. Because I mean, some people really, for whatever reason, like no matter what you do in life,
uh-huh.
some people aren't gonna like what you're doing, even if it has nothing to do with them, if it doesn't affect them.
Mhm.
Some people just need to get that negativity out, right?
Yeah,
It's a shame they don't do it in a more productive way, but I just if it's not a kind message, I'm like, all right, block, delete. It's fine. It's whatever. Um, or I also block messages that are scammy, like, oh, we want you to be a part of this. Just give us your credit card number. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, like, yeah, no, like the fact that they're messaging people about that though means that it's working on some people, and that's what scares me.
Yeah, I definitely understand you.
But for the most part, I don't block people or anything. Like if you want to message me, like if I have time to go through it, and if it's a like something kind and productive, then yeah, I'll message back.
I definitely, that's good to hear, because I, like you said, yeah, I mean, it's sad because people don't like me sometimes, because I'm security, or actually, it's sad, or because I'm a college with a pockets. It's sad. It's sad. Some people don't like you, but nothing you can do. So just keep moving on. My mom said keep moving on. So because in the end,
Yeah,
the people that yeah,
yeah. I think it's a good thing that people don't like me sometimes, because like not everybody's gonna like you. And so when you do find the people that really get you, that's where the magic happens, and that's when you have the best times. Like some people can like you and like just kind of be like meh, about you, and that's fine. But when you find people that are like 100% about you, that really enjoy what you do and support you, like those are your people, and those are the people you want to hang on to.
yeah,
So I'd say like it's a good thing. We're not all meant to like each other. I think we can all coexist and get along,
uh,
but no, not everybody has to like you. That's ridiculous. And that'd be so boring.
yeah. How come some people may not like you?
Why people like me?
No, how come some
I don't
people?
know. Maybe I'm funny sometimes.
And how come I know I said how come some people don't like you? I mean, do you know why some people don't like you? Because you're a great person. I don't understand why. I know why.
Thank you. Uh, no, and I don't really care to know why, honestly. People can think what they want about me. They're the ones that have to deal with those thoughts, not me. I don't
Yeah.
have the time to be negative. I'm just gonna keep doing me. As long as they keep those thoughts to themselves
Mhm.
and they're not getting in my way, then I don't got to deal with it.
Yeah.
That's their problem. And like they're miserable for whatever reasons. They're fighting battles I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, Me, I'm just gonna keep trucking along
Yeah.
and finding people that want to help me, and I'll help them back. And I'm gonna move up, and those people are gonna move up with me, and it's everybody's gonna win.
Yeah.
In my little world, in my Sergio life,
Mhm.
everybody's winning with me. We're all going up.
Yeah, definitely. I like how you said that. That's a good attitude. Keep going up. That's I realize that that's definitely a good attitude to
Yeah.
have. You know,
The
yeah.
only person we're in competition with is with ourselves.
I guess that's true.
Just
Yeah.
be better. Be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. I mean, I always say try and be better than you were before. Because there's always room for improvement. So yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, well, one more question. Did you get your you said you went to college, right? But did you get your bachelor's degree? A 4-year degree?
I eventually, for musical theater. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, okay, that's
Yeah.
good. That's good, because you're definitely, you definitely, definitely, educated man. That's good. That's good. You have a bachelor's degree. Make more money, could
Yeah.
get more opportunity. So keep going up. That's good. I'll try and get my bachelor's degree. For me, so I can go up, go up. So I can want to have that degree. That's
Oh
good.
yeah.
Mhm. Um,
Definitely. And
yeah,
it's a path a lot of people choose to take, and it's a path that a lot of people benefit from.
yeah,
So yeah, whatever works for you. I mean, I know people that don't have a bachelor's degree, that barely even graduated high school, that are making a lot of money just
yeah.
because they're really good at something that they love to do. So
Mhm.
I think the best thing anybody can do is find what you like to do, and if you can go to school for it, go for it, right? Um, but just keep watering your passions. Just keep watering them a little bit every single day. Eventually, that is gonna sprout and grow into something. So
That's what my mother always told me. Keep doing better. What is sport. Go to school, make me proud, get you, have a good future. That's all I'm about. Just trying to have a good future like you. Trying to audition for some movies here in Boston. trying, see where my dreams will take me, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what we're doing right now. We're creating our future with this conversation right here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely been a great conversation. Just to talk to you, I mean, I learned so much from you, and you learned something from me, and I'm just glad we had this time to share. It's definitely a blessing, and
Same, same. It's been a great time, great time. Thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate it.
I do appreciate you having my show. And so before you go, how can my fans, your fans, get in touch with you if they want to message you?
Yeah, if they want to message me, my Instagram is psyched squid, and I'll spell it out. It's from a song, right? So it's PSYCHED and then squid, all one word. Um, there's a Devendra Banhart song that me and my sister like to listen to, and there's a part of the lyric where he says, "Hey there, Mr. Dancing Squid, you move so psychedelically." And that always stayed in my mind. And psychedelic squid, psych squid. Oh, that's a fun Instagram handle. So if your fans wanna follow me or contact me through there for anything, then that's where you'll find me. I still need to create like a dedicated I'm an actor like Instagram page for sure. But I've been doing just fine the way I am. So, but eventually that actor profile will be up.
That sounds good. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what lies in store for you. I think you got a great future as an actor. Also as a musician, I can tell you're going to go far. I mean, I look forward to hear some more songs from you. I mean, where your joy takes you. I tell you, that's my greatness, though. And this is a blessing. Just love for you and love for me. I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I'll definitely send my music to you, okay? Because I want you to check my music out when you get a chance, okay? Because it's like yours, so I just want you to listen to it if you have a chance.
Yeah, it's on your bio, right? On your Instagram.
Oh, yes, but check. If you have look, so you have some time, check it out. Let me know what you think. I truly appreciate it. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, and like I said, feel free to message me anytime, day and night. I'm always here, so you can message me whenever. I'll respond to So, and hopefully, I kind of come forward. We'll definitely meet up. And if you come to Boston, we can definitely meet up.
Hey,
So
you never know. Like if I ever get a project in Boston, then you can bet that we're definitely gonna meet up. This was a fun conversation.
okay, I mean, it's a lot. I truly appreciate. So like I said, you stay safe. Love, stay safe. Take care of yourself. You have a great future, and this is a blessing. I truly appreciate your time.
Thank you. Best to you and everyone that you love. Thank you so much for this conversation. It was a blessing.
You too, and stay safe. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, I appreciate it. Thanks again.
You as well.
I'll
Bye bye.